think I got a better position for the camera here. The lighting seems a little better. We're gonna work with the TRX for the first time. I would highly recommend you take a look at the DVD that probably came with the TRX. If it didn't, TRX has a YouTube channel and you might wanna go there and just play around a little bit. Don't get too carried away. I'd just like you to see some of the movements because it's a lot to talk through, and I'm going to be giving you just some very basic movements, but it would be nice for you to see what all you can do with the TRX. This program is going to be done in supersets, so instead of doing it as a circuit, you're going to have 2 exercises back to back. You're going to limit the amount of time that you are resting in between the A and the B exercise, no more than 30 seconds. And if you need to recover after you've done B, then you have up to 60 seconds before you go back to the A. But if you can, keep it moving. The tempo on the first one is going to be 3-2-1. The tempo on the second one is basically a 2-0-2, controlled, no pause in the movement. Part of the reason where I'm doing the controlled movement on the first one is a lot of that's the TRX, and I don't want you to get in the habit of muscling yourself through those exercises. So we're gonna start with a very basic TRX close grip row. You cannot see the top of the TRX, but you'll get an idea from my setup. So with my feet at hip width, I can stand way out here and I can do a row. And I very rarely feel it. I feel the muscles kind of working to pull me forward, but it's not hardly any effort at all. This is a great tool to use as a warm-up if you like. Just do some very easy TRX moves. And then once you got that, you walk your feet close to the anchor. In general, most of these exercises, the closer your feet get to the anchor, the more challenging the movement gets. It's important that your shoulders, hips, ankles stay in one straight line. So if you start to find this happening, what's not working? Your low back, your glutes, and your abs are not working together. Also, the shoulders can round out at the end of the movement. Also, you got to keep those shoulders dropped and engaged. It's okay if your toes come up, but generally the more planted your feet are, the more supported you're going to be by the ground. And clearly make sure your anchor is strong. The handles adjust. I happen to have them at the longest length. When I have them at the longest length, the TRX will hang down at the ground where the bottom of the handles are at about mid-calf. If your height is longer than that, I mean if your height is shorter than that, that's okay, but this is my ideal setup for in-home or outdoors. So go into that close grip row. You're going to start leaning back, engaging those abs. Eyes are going to stay on the anchor. Eyes on the anchor. You're going to give you a quick pull on the count of 1. Pull, pause, 2. Really squeeze those shoulder blades. Slow, 2, 3. And quick on the way up. Pause, 2, slow, 2, 3. On the next one, I'm going to show you something that I don't want you to do. Pause, 2, slow, 2, 3. Don't use your, don't muscle up. Control yourself on the way up. Pause, 2, slow, 2, 3. Quick on the way up. Pause, 2, slow, 2, 3. So you can play around with how close your feet get to the anchor. Your goal is to be doing 15 reps maximum. So if you're going over 15, you need to walk your feet closer. You can do the first couple reps and be like, I think I can do more than 15. And then walk a little closer until you start to compromise form. If something like this starts happening, then you move it back again. So that's your first one. Then you're going to go into lunges with a bicep curl. It's going to be a front lunge. Palms are facing forward. Lunge it forward, curl as you press away. Lunge it forward, curl as you press away. So it's an alternating lunge. Great. So that's 1A and B. Next two, you're going to be using the TRX again, and you're going to be using a resistance band. You're going to tie your resistance band very low. It's going to be an orange band. TRX, you're going to be doing a chest press. Same movement as a push-up. Requires more stabilization strength in the shoulders. So the first couple times you do this, you might feel pretty out of whack, like it doesn't feel natural. The wider your feet are, the more stable you're going to be. So you can always widen your base if you're feeling uncomfortable with your movement. A lot of people also feel like they don't like that feeling of going down towards the ground, like they're going to fall on their face. So keep the eyes up. Try not to look down at the ground. Keep the eyes looking forward. All right. Straps are on the outside of my arms. Hands on the hands. Walking it back. This is a pretty easy stance for me. Make sure you don't arch the back. Keep those hips tucked underneath and push away. So you may just want to start here, get a feel for the movement. Your hands pretty much follow the same track. It's not like they're going in an arc like this. Your hands pretty much stay in the same place and your body moves. Follow what I'm saying there. So this is easy. We're going to walk back a little bit. Keep that nice position. Again, it's quick on the way forward, pause, slow on your way down. Quick on the way forward, pause, slow on the way down. My eyes are looking about 10 feet in front of me. I'm not looking down here, looking pretty forward, keeping a neutral spine. Pause here, and press. I'm going to walk back a little bit further so you can see another position. Now you can't see my body much, but you can see, you can make this much more challenging. Keep walking it back. Now you can't see me. So, start with the feet wide. Over time, if you feel like that particular body incline is good, you're comfortable with that, but you want to make it a little bit more challenging, bring those feet in together, or at least a little closer. Chest press. Now you're going to go into a band, low to high, square stance, drive from the hips. So it's kind of like a golf drive movement. You've got your band down here, your hips are in a squared stance. You're going to start with your band with some tension on it outside the knee, and when you drive, you're driving from this hip. So you're lifting. So with the band, one hand's on the inside, one hand's on the outside. At center, I've got a lot of tension on the band, right? So you want to have some tension when you're down here. You don't want it totally slack. So slack, you don't want to slack. So we want some tension on the band when you're down here. So from here, drive it up. Here your tempo is 202. Your shoulders back. Oh, sorry, I'm not rotating from this. There's many ways to do this. I want you to rotate through the hip. So I'm going to step behind that line of draw and drive through the hip. Oops, I'm a little too far behind the line. It's pulling me back. So you got to find that right line of draw. Nice long arms, shoulders stay back, eyes follow hands. All of them in one direction and then. Okay, next we have a TRX single leg squat. You've done single leg squats before, but they were into a chair. You get more support with the TRX, a little more control. You can control how much you're really using that TRX by your grip. You don't want to be gripping like it's a death grip. Over time, I'd like to see 3 fingers holding on, not even your whole hand, just holding on with 3 fingers. And like your arms feel light, right? So you're going to single leg squats. You're going to start with the left foot. You're going to do a left foot single leg squat. My left foot is in a line with the anchor. My elbows are in close to my body. My hips are tucked underneath. I'm going to kick this foot up. It's going to be like I'm doing a lunge to back, except the back knee is not going to touch and the back toes are not going to touch the ground. So this quad, we want to go parallel to the ground. We also want the knee to stay in alignment with the toe. I will maybe change the camera and show you from the other direction also. So I'm using my arms a bit, and that's okay to start, to lift up, but control it on the way down. Hold, pause, 2, quick on the way up. Slow, 2, 3, pause, 2, and lift. Slow, 2, 3, pause, 2, change the angle of the camera. From the front, I'm going to go to the right foot now. And I want you to look at where my knee tracks with my toes. I'm going to show you a bad tracking first. Notice how my knee is caving out. Not good. Not using my glutes, not activating. Alternatively, this is what can happen often. I'm exaggerating. But the knee drops in. You don't want that position either. You want the knee to track in line with the first and second toe. So it should look like this. Notice my shoulders stay nice and square. All right, last one. Squat with an alternating press with rotation. So what does a press with rotation look like? Again, you're driving from your hips. Your heel's going to come up off the ground. So it's a squat, rotate, just do this, follow me along, squat, rotate, Then you're going to add your dumbbells. The dumbbells up in front of the shoulders. So it's a front squat. You're not resting on your shoulders. Your hands are a little bit of, dumbbells off of your shoulders. Got a nice squat. On the way up, I'm going to drive with the hip and rotate with the right hand. Then come back down and other side. From the side. So that was a 2:02 tempo. There was no pause anywhere. It was controlled but not super slow. As you master it, you can go a little bit faster. So looking forward to what you think of the TRX and any feedback you have on either of these two programs.